Are you looking for the best robot vacuums? In this video we will look at some of the 7 best robot vacuums on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Roborock Q5 Pro Plus. The Roborock Q5 Pro Plus is this year's iteration of the reliable mid-range Roborock Q5 Plus, 9 out of 10. Wired recommends, that has been my mainstay for the past several years. It's pretty much the exact same vacuum for the same price, except that now it has a detachable mop pad, slightly stronger suction, a little more runtime, and a slightly bigger dustbin, 770 milliliters as compared to the previous 470 milliliters. It uses the same LiDAR detection, so no mobile cameras roaming your home. But it remains remarkably fast and thorough, cleaning about 890 square feet in 90 minutes, mostly unattended. The app updates regularly, and I'm continually discovering delightful features, like automatic cliff zone detection in a spot where there's a room grate. No other robot vacuum has noticed that you can't vacuum here. Along with the hardware features, you can create multiple maps, designate different rooms, or set different cleaning zones in the app, as well as see your maps in 2D or 3D. After almost a year of operation, I do find it a little annoying that there's no automatic dustbin detection. It will leave the occasional dog hair dust ball when cleaning a room. However, given the problems I've had with other robot vacuums, this seems negligible. This is the best robot vacuum if you, like me, have a large house with multiple surfaces and you need a capable, reliable robot helper. Number 2. Eufy X10 Pro Omni. The only thing that makes it reasonable for me to say that $800 is a good price to pay for a robot vacuum and mop is that I just recommended a $700 vacuum above. Alas, for all of our bank accounts, most other robot vacuums in this category hover between $1,400 and $2,000. The Eufy X10 Pro, 9 out of 10, Wired recommends, has AI-enabled visual recognition technology that lets it seamlessly navigate around your house and build multiple maps effortlessly. The battery life is decent. It cleaned 800 square feet of multiple floor types in an hour and a half, with battery to spare. The mop exerts 2 pounds of downward pressure as it scrubs, which cleaned up the stickiest banana mash in minutes. It can exert up to 8,000 pascals of suction, which is quite a bit, but honestly I didn't notice that much of a difference when I upped the suction on the most often trod parts of my carpet. Its edging capabilities are not great, mainly because the AI navigation is so sensitive. It spends a lot of time darting away from shoe cabinets, and it leaves about 80% of major spills, like a full jar of Cajun seasoning, on the floor for my Dyson to clean up. But this is a good option if you want a relatively moderately priced vacuum with a mop. Number 3. Dreame X30 Ultra. The only problem with most vacuum mop hybrids is that you can't remove the mop pads to clean carpet or rugs. Most of them raise their pads, but that's not always effective. The Dreame X30, 7 out of 10, Wired review, detach the pads if it senses that it's in a room with carpet. You have to change the default setting. It just raises the mop pads up if you don't, but this is a very important feature if you're a little grossed out by having your robot drag wet, dirty pads on the carpet where your kids play. It has a fairly powerful battery life and mapped and cleaned fairly well, although mirrored and glass doors confused it a little bit. Reviewer Nina Farrell tried it on Cheerios, cat food, and cat litter, but it never got 100% of the dirt, which is a little disappointing at this price. Still, if you have a larger home with a variety of surfaces to clean, this could be a good choice. Alternative, Eufy's Mach S1 Pro, $999, is available only on Kickstarter for now. It's expected to launch on Eufy's website in May. It combines a number of different technologies for ultra-precise navigation, ozone sanitation, and a self-cleaning roller mop, instead of one that merely dampens itself, which results in much cleaner floors. It is also outstandingly beautiful. A full review is forthcoming, but given a week of preliminary testing, I would say that it's worth waiting for this to launch on the Eufy site. Number 4. Dyson 360 Vis Nav. We're including Dyson's new robot vacuum because, given Dyson's other stellar vacuums, many of you will be considering it. Reviewer Chris Haslam notes that when compared to the original Dyson 360 Hurist, the new robot vacuum is wider and flatter and considerably more powerful, with a spin speed of 110,000 RPM up from 78,000. There's a flashy digital display, a much improved dustbin removal and emptying system, and the filter is easy to remove and clean. Dyson claims its vacuum has up to 6 times more suction than the competition. Haslam liked the new triple-action brush bar, soft nylon for large debris on hard floors, anti-static carbon fiber filaments for fine dust, and stiff nylon bristles for carpet, which sweeps right up to the edge of the room. However, its navigation capabilities left something to desired. On hard floors and in rooms with no obstacles, it managed perfectly, but chair legs and rugs defeated it. A whole host of other brands, including Roomba, Eufy, and Ecovacs, have had no problem in Haslam's home. If you have a house with an open floor plan and very little furniture, the $360 Vis Nav's eye-watering price might be worth it. Otherwise, it's simply not good enough. Number 5. iRobot Roomba 694. If all you want is a robot vacuum for under $200 that will ping-pong around your kitchen after dinner, there is no shortage of options. You can generally find a slim Eufy 11S for under $200, which can fit under the lowest cabinets. In my testing, I have found that Yeti vacuums have trouble making it back to the dock, but otherwise the battery life and room navigation are pretty great. The earlier iterations of the Roborock S series also go on sale often. I have a Roborock S6 that is still going strong. Generally, if you want a cheap robot vacuum, I suggest looking at the ones from iRobot. Even the cheapest iRobot vacuums have features like Dirt Detect, where it spot cleans specific areas. The company has many robots in its mid-range 600 series and E-series that are all about $300 or less. There are some minor differences. For example, the 694 has a roller brush, while the slightly more expensive E5 has iRobot's signature brushless roller. Different vacuums may have different button styles, but for the most part, if you can find a Roomba for $300 or less, it's a great buy. The app is simple and easy to use, the vacuum is quiet and powerful, and it has stellar navigation capabilities. Number 6. iRobot Roomba J7 Plus. Even as dozens of competitors have hit the market, iRobot's vacuums are still beautiful. The robots never have trouble settling on the auto-empty station, and so far, iRobot is the only company to offer bin sensors in even the mid-range Roomba i3 Plus line, so that the robot automatically empties itself when it's full. The Roomba J7 Plus has powerful suction and some of the best navigational tools on the market. iRobot now has a feature called Genius that lets you teach your Roomba about your personal preferences and cleaning schedules, instead of painstakingly programming them manually. Earlier this year, Amazon and iRobot mutually agreed to terminate their pending acquisition, so there's now no worry that Amazon can use the data acquired from inside your home. Alternative, I've now tested both the J7 Plus and the Combo J7 Plus 5/10 wired review, which is the J7 Plus with a robot arm that can lift and lower a mop to the ground. The robot arm was super cool and solved a real pain point, but otherwise, the J7 Plus had trouble finding its way around. I had multiple frustrating navigation errors other robot vacuums didn't have. iRobot's other tools are useful enough that I still include them in our recommendations. Number 7. Ecovacs Deebot T9 Plus. Ecovacs mid-range model, the Ecovacs Deebot T9 Plus 8/10 wired recommends, has commendable features like not using cameras to navigate and disposable mopping pads that are easy to use. It also has one standout feature: it comes with an air freshener. I'm very sensitive to smells, and I was expecting to find the air freshener to be a horrible, extraneous addition. I was surprised to find that I loved that faint, refreshing aroma as the vacuum quickly and efficiently cleaned my house. Unlike other mopping robot vacuums here, you swap out the vacuuming base for the mopping base. This is a little extra work, but it does prevent your robot from dragging a damp mop over your carpeted floors on the way back to the dock.